Good morning, everybody. The 1930s are considered by many to be part of the golden age of Hollywood. And it was on this date, December 15, in 1939, that Gone with the Wind had its premiere in Atlanta, Georgia, one of the great movies of that era. Gone with the Wind by Margaret Mitchell from Atlanta, Georgia, was published in 1936. It won the Pulitzer Prize for Literature in 1937. But would it make a good movie? Well, a lot of Hollywood producers didn't want to try because the book was really, really long. But one guy was willing, David O. Selznick, pictured here. He had his own studio. And the month after the book was published, he bought the movie rights. Here's a picture of him for some of the Oscars won by Gone with the Wind. So one of his goals was to have Clark Gable play Rhett Butler. And here's a picture of Clark Gable, who was under contract to another studio, but Selznick worked it out. And then who was going to play Scarlett O'Hara? Well, Vivien Leigh did, and you can look at the lower right corner of this movie poster from England and you see her name. Selznick knew who she was. And even though there was a supposed nationwide search for who would play Scarlett, Vivien Leigh was always on his short list, and she got the role. So she's English. Can she speak with a Southern accent? This map shows some of the regional dialects of the South. So they hired a language coach to coach the crew on how to speak like Southerners, and it worked pretty well. So here's a still from the making of Gone with the Wind. And who actually did what is quite a story. People who were hired, people who were fired, who gets responsibility for the script, etc. But the movie did get made, and one of the set pieces is the burning of Atlanta, pictured here. So the Selznick people had some old buildings on the lot, which they burned down, and that became the burning of Atlanta. It was real fire, no computer images. One of the stories associated with Gone with the Wind is that because of the Hollywood Code, which regulated speech, that they got in trouble because Rhett Butler said the word damn at the end of the movie, but they didn't. So here's our event. December 15, 1939, Gone with the Wind opened at the Lowe's Grand Theater, downtown Atlanta. It was a big deal. All the beautiful people from Hollywood were there. But this woman was not invited, Hattie McDaniel. She ended up winning the Oscar for Best Supporting Actress, but she was not allowed into the theater because of Jim Crow laws, and at the Oscars she had to sit in the segregated section. So if you watch the movie, you get this idyllic view of the South on the eve of the Civil War, no sense of the political tension that was growing over slavery and its expansion. There is a love story, I guess, between Rhett Butler, the man of the world, Scarlett O'Hara, the spoiled and willful Southern belle. They have their ups and downs. And it is associated with the Civil War. Here's a scene having to do with Atlanta. Remember, Margaret Mitchell was from Atlanta. And these are some of the big Civil War scenes in the movie. Well, it did win 8 Academy Awards, and that was the record until Ben-Hur, later Titanic and Lord of the Rings all earned 11, but when Gone with the Wind got 8, that was considered the record. And also at the Oscars that year was The Wizard of Oz, which took home 2 Oscars. So Gone with the Wind, Wizard of Oz, both 1939. All kinds of ways Gone with the Wind has entered our popular culture. There was a stamp, of course, Scarlett and Rhett kissing each other. In the 1970s, Carol Burnett did a spoof of Gone with the Wind on her show, and here she is dressed like Scarlett O'Hara. And Gone with the Wind even made it to The Simpsons. So most people know about the movie, they have an opinion of it, and I think as we look back on the golden age of Hollywood and we see some of the sensibilities that people had in the 30s, we might question some of those sensibilities today. But I think all would agree that it was a significant movie from the golden age.